Yeah.
We're after some esoteric or movie or documentary recommendations because we all have varying interests, and I put the word documentary in there because I think that it widens things a little bit. But have you got any suggestions or recommendations for the audience of things that maybe interesting and entertaining in a way, or I don't know. I guess I just wanted. There's a lot of like great examples of esoteric movies and documentaries in the mainstream as well. Guy Ritchie's Revolver with Jason Statham, all about Kabbalistic symbolism. But I just wanted to throw this to you, Didi, and see if you've got anything to share.
Wow. Yeah, it's funny. The thing that comes up is not at all esoteric, but which
it's Disney, right?
No.
Disney. Oh,
no. The documentary. Do you know a great little? What's it called? Great Little Farm, or
The Biggest Little
Biggest
Farm.
Little Farm? It's just. Do you know that one? Biggest Little Farm? No. Well, it's all about a couple. That's funny. We have the couple session here. It's a couple that wants to build a farm. They live in the city and then they go out in the countryside. And then they have to figure out, they want to have an organic farm out in the countryside. But it's all...
It's in California, just above Los Angeles, in an area where it's totally dried out.
Yeah.
Totally dried. There's nothing there. There's just sand and hills. So they have a challenge there.
They have a challenge. And then they try to work the land in a very natural way. But every time they get a plague of something, and it needs some time to build up and to build up. And it's just a beautiful way to see how you can get all these stories out of there for yourself. Like, how does it work to build yourself up again? Because it's there already, but it's buried somewhere. And then when they work the land to work with the land, they didn't work. They work with the land. And after a couple of years, you see there is a paradise. There's like, all these plants are growing and the trees and there's animal life. And their neighbors are still doing the traditional farming. And when there's a hurricane, all the other farms are destroyed, but theirs is still going strong. So that's I love that one. So
beautiful.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful comparison how the basic ingredients are already there, and you can build from there. Just work with yourself and not against yourself. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you. The Biggest Little Farm. Okay, everyone go watch that one and let's get a review. Armand.
Wow, esoteric movies. I'm just into movies where there's a transformation happening.
Yeah.
You know, could be anything. Could be Disney. Could be Spielberg. Any movie where a person goes through something and comes out better and stronger and starts inspiring, you know, and starts coming to conclusions, starts just becoming a better being. I guess human struggle, you know, anything that's about human struggle in any sort of way inspires me and has inspired me for a long time. So, but I think specific titles. Oh man, there's so many. You know, there's so many. So I love Green Book. I just love Green Book. I love that movie. Have you seen it, Green Book?
I'm thinking of The Green Mile. Sorry, tell us about Green Book.
Green Book is about a bouncer from the Bronx, played by Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, yeah.
And he is a bouncer in a club, and he's out of work because the club needs some rebuilding. So he has got a couple of months off, and he's living with his family in the Bronx. And then he gets a gig. The gig is that he has to drive an Afro-American musician.
Oh, yes, I know of this, yes.
He's becoming the driver of this guy with a little orchestra, and they're going to go into the deep south of America in the 60s, I guess. And this guy, so he becomes a sort of his driver / bodyguard, gets him out of all these tricky situations, because the musician is also, besides he's Afro-American, he's also gay in those days. So there's a lot of things happening where they get locked up and he gets him out in every situation. But he's really learning about himself, and it's, Viggo Mortensen, right? He's just such an unbelievable actor, and everyone in this movie is an unbelievable actor. But this is a movie I could put on every day. I could, because it's such a good transformation. It's so heartwarming, and how they start to, because of these differences, he gets a real education, but they both get an education because their worlds are so extremely apart.
Yeah.
So I would totally recommend that one. It's just, it's esoteric. I don't know. It's just a beautiful movie about transformation, and everything that's about transformation is good for me. So go see that one, Green Book. Yeah.
You're wonderful. Yeah. I think any kind of story that grabs us, where we feel an emotional investment, we care about the characters and what's happening. There's a real decline in that coming out of big studios at the moment. And so any stories that are uplifting and, regardless of the character, their background or makeup or whatever that, a good story is a good story. And, when there's a transformation, like you said, there's struggle, you're watching this person go through hell, and you're going along with them. You're on this emotional thing. And then, of course, you do the first transformation, move into the astral body and get really, really, really into it. I'm just talking about, like what you can do when you go to the theater next time. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's great. So, I mean, these questions, I just sort of throw them out there and make them as general as possible, but those are beautiful answers. So, Manuela, is there a movie or I will say the esoteric one, but it doesn't have to be. Is there something, you'd like to share?
I feel there is so many different, movies and documentaries out there, especially the science fiction movies. There's probably more truth in them than in any other thing you see on TV. In general, I'm quite selective what I watch, and that's just because sort of like during my early 20s, a friend of mine studied in TV production, and I got to see behind the scene what's actually going on there. And, every, movie has a certain amount of frames, and if you just take one frame out and replace it with something else, your visual eye actually doesn't see it, but obviously your subconscious recognizes it, and how they manipulate people in cinemas and with certain movies with that. So I'm sort of like very cautious when I watch a movie and what I watch. But there is obviously lots of symbology in there and lots of meaning in a lot of like good movies. And there's also an awesome documentary.
Okay.
Probably can tell us more about Pathways to Profound Powers.
Oh, yeah.
Just so happens I have something prepared.
Oh, gosh, okay.
You definitely have to watch that documentary.
Yeah. All right.
Hang on, I'm going to pull it up right now, and here we go. Hopefully this will come out all right. And awesome. I go like that one. Okay, so this is on Tubi, Tubi, which is a really becoming quite famous now as a free movie channel, basically.
Yeah.
And so, Michael, you are the lead actor, so to speak, or the lead role in this documentary, I'm presuming, and documentary, Alchemy, Pathway to Profound Powers.
That's right. Thank you. Yes, I have the narration role in that. It was chosen by the legendary Sharon Rowland, and she'd been making a lot of, she had a magazine, Oddities magazine, and she was working on a lot of paranormal activity and, legends of ghosts and hauntings, as well as digging up the truth on things that were very challenging subjects, and also interviewing people. So yeah, that was a documentary we actually completed last year, and while I was teaching, and yeah, it's really good. Got a lot of interesting people there. Alchemy Pathway to Profound Power. So I'm the narrator in that. I had to explain things, but keep it very, very simple, to the KISS principle, without me going, exploding out and meditation. But yeah, thank you very much.
What was it? The documentary won a lot of awards and is still,
Yeah.
being reviewed, and I don't know how many awards, 3, 4,
Nine.
5, 9?
Nine.
9 awards.
9
so far.
awards in the
Yeah.
documentary film festival around the world. There was one in the US and Belgium, and oh god, it was Paris. It was huge. it went ballistic. Hardly anyone knows about it. It was incredible. I should bring all the awards up too, but I don't like to blow my own trumpet, and I'm doing it now. Bugger it, He's holding back. Have a look at it. And yeah, once again, I grew up with a lot of different aspects to music and theater and stage and radio. So I know behind the scenes, like Manuela, we have similar. We can sort of see how things are put together. Yeah, so Esoteric Movies as well. That's a brilliant documentary. And plenty of documentaries, I'd recommend. And yeah, I do. I'm very proud of that. And we're looking to put more together as well. So thank you about that. So yeah, if you check it out, Alchemy Pathway to Profound Powers, many of you probably, it would help you, I suppose, in regards to learning the basics and, transformational skills and things like that. Hopefully we'll do Alchemy 2, the return of Michael Lamp. Yeah, he's back, and this time he's selling out way. Exactly. He's scared. Exactly. He thought he died in the first one. Yeah, I did have a lot of fun. There was some pretty powerful esoteric. Oh wow, you're gonna put it on? Oh my gosh. Okay, scared.
Right. You guys got an hour 40? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's actually, I think it's free to watch. It's on the Tubi.
It's free to watch. Yeah. It's on Tubi.
Oh,
yeah, it's a really good platform. Rather than
I'll put it in. I'll put the link in the description, everybody, so you guys
okay.
can.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
that's good.
I see David Monahan's in there. He's a student
Yeah.
of Mark's.
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, David. Yeah, I was actually just met him prior. Well, actually, when I started it, actually, I'd left his place when I got the call when Sharon wanted me. We just done some training together, as you do. So once again, as Armand and Didi had said about, and all of it is these synchronicities, and then there are times when you get a super series of synchronicities. It's quite otherworldly. Unless you've sort of had it, it's very hard to explain to other people. However, when it's in sync, it's like boom, boom. It's everything from numbers on plates and what you're looking at. It's almost like you're riding the hologram as you go. You're obviously meant to be, doing your mission and your purpose in this world. So as you do it, it seems to be like the universe is conspiring to keep you on the path that you're meant to be going on.
Oh, yeah.
Assists. Yeah. And once again, we are always looking for evidence. We need that solid evidence. If you guys with me, sort of.
Show me now.
Yeah, show me. I need some evidence. Yeah. Show me the money. One of the most esoteric aspects of life. Show me the money. Well, it's you got to get results, and once again, if it's not subject to results, and as I said, when we first started training, when I felt the energy of just dark blue D, it was like, oh my, this is it. This is what I've been looking for. Even though years of martial arts training, and as you said, we're on these pathways, and and when the dots start to connect, and it's like this super charge of energy, it's like boom, 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 away it goes. I mean, and also even in the early 90s, the first Matrix movie came out and was being shot and filmed in Sydney. And when I was looking at it, I think, oh my God, this is that stuff that we're doing. It's like, oh, it's happening, that movement. And, plus the storyline's very solid, well, back in the day, they had to be, they were really good. They had the special effects, of sure, but, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's what the message is in the movie, Star Trek, I mean, not that I was a big Trekkie fan, but there was a series of the third movie when they had to save the whales because the whales create this song, this sonic vibration around the planet. in tune with all the other life that actually holds the vibration of life together. And they had to go.
Avatar?
No, this is back in the 90s. Yeah, well before the Avatar. And they had to go back around the sun years to sort of go back in time. And there's that time matrix. So that was a very clever one. The third one in the it was in the 90s. I forget which one. But as I say, but Gene Roddenberry, the actual writer of Star Trek, actually channeled that. He channeled it and wrote it. Same with Cameron. Cameron that did Avatar, and he did the Terminator movies, and obviously, they're very much connected. As a woman that wrote them, like the original Terminator movies as well. But Cameron obviously directed, and he kept a lot of elements in there that gave it substance. The Alien movies, obviously Prometheus was a prequel to that, and this race, obviously, these blah 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 blah. There's plenty of really good movies and documentaries. I've got a ton that I could mention. I do like the work of Graham Hancock and Sourcefield Investigations, by David Wilcox, Graham Hancock, sorry, with and they go around the world and they're exploring all these underground cities that they find, or underwater cities off every coast, and they're huge. You get these massive layouts. So if you're getting into theology and things like that, and you're finding out about how these temples are laid out, that's very inspiring. It gets right down deep into your bones. So that sort of thing is definitely where it's at. I could go on, but I think we answered the question all right. Anyway, I got to